My friends, how are you? It is fantastic to see you for yet another video. And I guess if nothing else in this country, at least we are not bored. We definitely live in some interesting times. And I guess that's the good news coming out of all of this, because most of the other nonsense going on is absolutely horrifying. But at least we get to be entertained while they're trying to starve the American people to death. Don't we? That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? And part of this interesting time that we're living in is we're finally starting to see some Democrats grow a pair and start to stand up for the American people, which is what the American people have wanted from the Democrats for quite some time right now. And right now we're seeing Gavin Newsom really take it to Donald Trump and the Republicans in some very, very interesting ways. And I just want to talk about that because I find it to be absolutely fascinating. So what we know, my friends, about the MAGA movement is it is basically a political movement based on tiny PP energy, right? And that's 100% fact. You don't have to be mad at me, MAGA dorks, for saying it. We can just look at how this whole political movement works, and we can very easily come to that determination. From the top, Donald Trump, all we do is listen to his personal grievances about how everybody's so mean and nasty to him, and nobody treats him fairly, and all this nonsense that Donald Trump whines and cries and bitches about at all times. And then when you look at the the MAGA movement, you see a lot of shocking and very childish behavior going on that side of the political spectrum. For one, the whole movement started because a bunch of white people saw a black man gain some power in America, and they went, "Oh God, we're losing our country," and they freaked the fuck out because they saw a black man doing well in America. And that's basically where this entire movement started. And then you start to get into like the really, really stupid shit of all of it. You know, it's an entire political movement based on nonsensical culture wars that no one else gives a fuck about. I mean, these guys are running around calling people with jobs DEI hires because they might be a different race or a different gender or what have you, because they were underachievers and they decided not to do much with their own life. They're mad at other people for doing better than them, so they try to justify it by saying that the system's rigged against the white man in America. You know how tough us white guys have it. It's really an uphill climb for us. My God, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about most of the time in this country. So there's all the nonsensical culture wars. There's the questioning everybody about their genitals. It's super fucking weird. These guys are so fragile that they can't listen to a late night comedian without demanding that he loses his jobs. Heaven forbid a fucking restaurant changed their logo. That caused a whole fucking meltdown now, didn't it? That was a lot of goddamn crying excuse me, over the Cracker Barrel. The Cracker Barrel caused them to lose their fucking minds. And now they are faced with one of the scariest things that they could possibly ever have to face in their life. And that is a Super Bowl halftime show that will feature a brown man. And that's got them on fucking edge, my friends. So like I was saying, it's an entire political movement based on just childish shit, just fucking whining and crying and bitching, and safe spaces and all the things that they've accused us of for years is who they were the entire fucking time. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I'm pretty goddamn frustrated with hearing all the whining all the fucking time. It's just constant. I did a couple videos about, MAGA crying and MAGA wanting us to be nice to them. You guys remember those? Those were just like a week ago. And my God, the comment section are full of a bunch of immature men trying to convince me that they're not crying by crying in my fucking comment section about how mean I'm being to them. I don't know why these guys are so like painfully not self-aware, but it's brutal, man, just listening to it sometimes. But we've all wanted obviously the Democrats to step up, which I think is the leading contributor to their poor approval ratings, right? When you got guys like Chuck Schumer before now, I don't know what's going on with Chuck now. Chuck's worried he's going to get primaried now, and that's why he's standing up for us, and fine, whatever it takes, but you probably should still get primaried, in my opinion, at this point. But, the old Chuck Schumer that would just bend over all the time and write a strongly worded letter here and did fuck all to stand up for the American people. And like I said, I think that's what led to this bad approval rating for the Democrats. Is like, what are you fucking doing? We elected you to stand up for us, right? And now we're watching as more and more Democrats are definitely starting to stand up. And the focus of today's video, of course, will be Gavin Newsom's effort. But we've got, you know, your Bernie Sanders. I understand he's an independent, but he does caucus with the Democrats. You got your AOC, your Jasmine Crockett, who I've never seen her fuck around, not even once. She's never fucking around. She's always giving them hell. And of course, I don't want to take away from their accomplishments. But right now, what we're watching with Gavin Newsom, I think, is pretty inspiring also. We just kicked the ever-loving shit out of the Republicans last Tuesday on election day when we won fucking everything. We won everything. And we won everything for good fucking reason. The reasons are Donald Trump and the Republicans' policies, if you will, are really destructive to the American people. We've got massive job losses going on. We've got people looking at paying double, triple, and quadruple the prices for their health care insurance. We've got the farmers going bankrupt while Argentina gets a bailout. Also, you can't afford your health insurance while Argentina gets a bailout. We've got people getting cut off from their SNAP benefits because Donald Trump and the Republicans want to make a point that if you don't fall in lockstep with them, then you can fucking starve. And that is also happening while Argentina gets their bailout. And a lot of American people are like, what the actual fuck is going on here? And so that is what led to us kicking the shit out of them in the most recent election. And we really, really, really need to keep up that energy going into the midterms, because in this particular case, Gavin Newsom has understood the assignment, all right? When it came to Texas gerrymandering so that Donald Trump can get more seats there, Gavin Newsom answered the call. And I did have somebody, like, I don't know if it was some weird purity politics, which I'll get to that in a minute. We need to chill out with that for a little while. But generally, they were on our side of the argument with the Democrats, and then was really pissed off that Gavin Newsom went forward with this and said, the Democrats just proved they're a bunch of hypocrites. And like, who gives a fuck? Getting called a hypocrite on the internet? You get called that by everyone. It's like the same as people running around the internet calling everyone a narcissist at this point, right? They're just buzzwords. They don't fucking mean anything anymore. It's just people saying bullshit is what's going on. But I tried to explain to that person that it was a response to what Texas was doing, and we would be absolutely fucking stupid at this point to just let the Republicans run amok all over the country, even more than they have, and somebody has to stand up and do something. And I don't know if my argument helped them, because they referred to me as dumb and said they would dumb down their argument so that I guess this dumb hillbilly right here could understand it. But I am on the side of we're not going down without a fucking fight. And at this point in American history, we have to play dirty with the Republicans, because they do not follow any rules or any laws whatsoever. And that's just the fucking way it is. So Gavin Newsom understood the assignment with that particular thing, right? But then it gets better, my friends. It gets a lot fucking better. Did y'all hear about this? Gavin Newsom went to Texas. I believe he was there with Jasmine Crockett, who's from Texas. But Gavin Newsom went to Texas to hold I don't know if you want to call it a rally or what you want to call it, basically shit-talking Greg Abbott and Donald Trump in Texas. Now, it was Houston, but it was still in fucking Texas. He went down there. He went on their turf and just started shit-talking them right there in their fucking backyard about how bad they are for the American people. And the venue was so goddamn full, they had people lined up down the block that couldn't get in to listen to Gavin Newsom's speech. So I talked at the beginning of this how the Republicans are just like tiny dick energy at this point, tiny pee-pee energy. We can't call that a dick. That ain't it, right? And I meant to incorporate this in it earlier, and I forgot, is that Gavin Newsom and a few Democrats now, I had to not get too carried away there, a few Democrats now are showing up just swinging big dick at this point, just big dick energy everywhere. He went there. Greg Abbott would never show his face in California. And if he did, like, who would show up to watch him anyways, right? But he went there and he talked shit about them. The problems they are causing in America to the Texans. And there's a few reasons for that, I believe. And we're going to go over those reasons, in my opinion, why I think they are. One, because as soon as those elections were over last Tuesday, the midterm race has started. It's here. That's what's happening now. That's what we're going to spend the next fucking year doing. And I know I hear from a lot of people that just feel defeated or whatever, that say the midterms are already rigged. They're going to make sure that we don't win. What's the point? Well, if you're anything like me, even if that is true, we're going to give them hell all the way through this fucking thing and make them earn every goddamn bit of it if they think they're going to cheat the American people out of their votes, right? And that's a big reason I think Gavin Newsom is doing this. There's another reason, but I'll get to that in a second. But the midterms have started, my friends. We are in that race now to try to get back control from the Republicans, who are openly just destroying the country right now, and they don't give a fuck if you notice or not. They don't give a shit. And that's kind of what's going on. And I know, well, let me get to the other reason before I talk about the other points I want to talk about. The other reason is Gavin Newsom may be positioning himself for a presidential run. Now, he hasn't said so either way, and we'll kind of have to wait to see how that all goes. Now, I want to let you guys know that how do I want to arrange all of this? I think right now is the time for all the purity politics to stop, and we just need to understand what our choices are, right? We've got on the right, we've got the Republicans. That's what they call themselves. I don't know if that's what they truly are at this point. They are openly fascist. They are starving the American people, making it so your healthcare is unaffordable, causing you to lose your job, causing your prices to go up on everything, are actively against free speech to the point that if you speak on them, they will try to get you fired from your job or get you fired from your job. And that comes down from the president. So they're actively against free speech. The Gestapo police are running wild in the streets, sending people off to concentration camps with no due process. I mean, I probably haven't even got all of the list, but all of that is pretty fucking bad, right? And on the other side, we've got the Democrats, who are fighting against fascism at this very point in American history, right? So I understand that there may be some issues people have with Gavin Newsom, some things he's done in the past as a California governor that they don't necessarily like, but I would highly, highly encourage nobody to sit out these midterm elections. They are 100% trying to rig it. And if you sit on the sidelines in this one, you're basically saying that you're okay with that, right? And I understand there are a lot of things wrong with a lot of politicians, but we're not going to find the perfect politician. I have heard from people about some of Gavin Newsom's policies having to do with some healthcare, I guess he vetoed in California. And I have never looked it up, but I have heard quite a few times that he's had some issue with the transgender community. Look, I understand those are obviously problematic, and I will even tell you the problem that I have with Gavin Newsom myself, and that was just like last week or the week before, he was asked about APAC money, and he stumbled all over it, and I don't think he really even answered the question. And I think that Democrats are fucking done with that. We need APAC money out of our fucking government, and we need to, I think that's how you say it, APAC, something like that. It's like Israeli money to influence America's government is my understanding of it. I do need to research a little more, but that is the understanding I get from it. And yes, we need that the fuck out of here. And I think that the Democrats are going to be hard on a lot of our candidates if they are the person that's accepting that APAC money, and they would probably lose their primaries in those situations. So I understand there's problems with Gavin Newsom, and he's not the perfect candidate, right? But like I said, your choices are this or that at this point. And right now, Gavin Newsom's not made any announcement that he's running for president, but I got a feeling he is going to be in this fight with us on the left until the midterms at very least. After that, we may get an announcement for some sort of presidential run. But he's out there, going to rallies in Texas. He just helped the state of California win a massive election, not for California, but for the fucking country, which is a big, big fucking deal. That Prop 50 was massively huge for us. What a way to fight back. I don't care if it's hypocrisy or not. I'm past that. I'm past that. I don't know about the rest of you. I don't give a fuck. We're supposed to play patty cake while these guys are fucking openly Nazis. I don't understand how that's going to work out at all. No idea. But that's kind of what I think is going on. Now, as far as Gavin Newsom making a presidential run, I think it's very likely that he is going to do that. And what I'm going to do, here's what my strategy is going to be, because I imagine we'll have quite a few candidates on the Democrat side. I don't know who they all would be at this point. If Tim Walz happened to run, that's my guy, Tim Walz. I'll be endorsing the shit out of Tim Walz most likely if he were to run. But what I'll be doing is listening to every one of those candidates, what their ideas are. I'll be looking at what their past records were and all that shit, and then I'll make a decision from there, is kind of the way it's going to work. And in the event, if we have a presidential primary on the Democrat side and my person doesn't win, I'm still going to vote for the Democrat, because my other choices are fascism at this point. That's kind of what we're fucking dealing with, right? But overall, watching this entire thing, even Chuck Schumer showing a little bit of spine right now. You gotta love that. You gotta appreciate that. The Democrats that are coming out and fighting the way that they are and standing up for the American people and pointing out all the bullshit that Donald Trump is doing to the American people is a net positive for the entire fucking country. And we all should be very proud of that thing going on. And I am damn excited to watch Gavin Newsom fuck with these Republicans even more, because I got a feeling he's going to keep doing it, and he's going to keep helping us to get the right shit done in America so we can drag this fucking country through the midterms. And that is basically the entire point of my video. Please, if we're not finding the perfect candidates, if you're not finding that this is the ideal scenario, I would encourage everybody that's not MAGA at this point to look at your options and say, look, I know this isn't fucking perfect, but it's this or it's fascism, and we need to, for a while, drop the purity politics and fucking start looking out for us and for our neighbors and our friends, and start getting the right people in the way of Donald Trump and the regime. And I believe that we can sort the rest out later when it comes up on new elections. We can look at maybe other candidates that we would like. But right now, it's all about stopping this fascist takeover in America. And I am super inspired by all the shenanigans that Gavin Newsom is getting up to with, of course, these other elected representatives that are out there raising hell too. And we need to follow their lead and do the right fucking thing and make sure we are not sitting this out, because our country at this point actually does depend on us showing up and doing the right fucking thing. Anyways, I felt like I was preaching a little bit during this video, and I don't know if I like that. So I guess I'll just hit the road, get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.